we had escaped that dark, bad place and had taken a rest.
Didn't we take the injured dude back and stuff?
Yeah, and we got paid.
Oh yeah, that's right. We're in our rooms.
Yeah.
We're sleeping.
According to my notes, we returned that injured guy
Right.
to the Violet Banner people. And we went to the Iron Loot to rest up.
Sweet.
So, Aaron, did you create the Under the Church of Anu journal entry?
Under the Church of Anu. Yes, that was me. I was taking notes.
Okay, that is awesome. I added the correct spelling of some of the terms. That's
Yes,
okay
thank you.
because I didn't spell them out when I gave them, so I do not blame you for not knowing how to spell them because the words are weird. But
Yes, thank you. I'm just going in there doing them phonetically. I'm like, I think he said this.
yeah, so that just reminded me as a DM to not only be a little bit slower and more precise with my enunciation, but also maybe to spell things from time to time, just to make sure that everyone knows exactly what it is that I'm saying.
Yeah, I like this little note-taking feature. I've been playing around with it a little bit. Like I have one that says items to purchase as we go along. I'm like, ooh, I wish I would have had this on this adventure, so I'll write down, buy this next time.
Yep.
Some of these little hodgepodge things that are interesting. So
Another
I'm trying
nice
to take
thing
notes.
with the new character sheet that we're using on the let me open up one of your character sheets. On the journal tab, which is the sixth one,
Right.
you have areas where you can keep track of specific things like people of interest, locations, quests, journal entries, miscellaneous stuff. So there's some built-in functionality for keeping track of stuff during a game, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. I like it.
For those that do that sort of thing. So where we ended up last time, if we can maybe do this for a little bit, but where we ended up last time is that you made it back to the Iron Loot after investigating the areas underneath the Foundation, the Church of Anu in Cyranor, the exploded out, destroyed part, which had the ruins exposed, the much older ruins, apparently with some kind of weird and wacky non-Anu affiliated things happening down there. During the course of that time, you discovered some information which pointed towards not only the possible importance of the baby that you were given, but also the baby's now deceased mother, whose corpse you found in one of the cells in the ruins down below. The corpse had been, if not tortured, at least mistreated, which led to her death through malnutrition and dehydration and just lack of care. But you learned some things about this cult that worship an archangel known as Anastaroth, who is an archangel of it's an archangel of blood specifically, and it is an archangel of Boehm, the god of evil. Originally this specific domain was under the goddess of good, actually, Sanhedrin, but there must have been a sect of this Sanhedrin worshippers must have sort of been corrupted, and so this archangel of blood appeared under the god of evil instead of the goddess of good.
I have something about bearers and tridents.
Yeah, so apparently there are beings that you don't know specifically what they are, but they're called bearers and they're called tridents, and apparently the baby that you were given is potentially what they call a bearer, as signified by the unique sort of birthmark pattern that was on the baby's arm, upper shoulder and upper arm.
Okay.
And so you found out all this stuff. You ended up finding this really crazy rift into what looked like the abyss. The best guess of those of you who have knowledge of that sort of thing, and you were able to make it to the surface before this rift sort of encompassed you, and you managed to put the ancient item, back into the chest, which sort of sealed the ruins off and closed, at least, we don't know if it closed the rift, but you know that at least like sort of kept it locked inside of the ruins. And then you made it back to the Iron Loot, where you handed off the leader of the Violet Banner to the other members of the Thieves Guild who were there waiting, and you were paid your money for doing the task, and they offered you free room and board for the night. So you guys all went upstairs and found some digs and are resting, and that's where we left off. And you
Sweet.
also hit level 4, so
I
during
think
the-
we need to go figure out what happened to our baby.
Yeah.
The one you tried to kill.
You know, we didn't kill it though. It now has a use.
it was a hypothetical.
It was
And
what
the-
would happen if we killed it.
I think we should figure out what its status is.
Well, it is now let's see what the date is currently. It is make sure this is correct. So that was the 19th when that happened. So it is actually the 20th now, after your long rest. Each of you, why don't you go ahead and do a long rest through your Foundry character sheet. Let's see what happens. So up by your, if you open up your character sheet in Foundry, up by your portrait, there's a button. Yeah, there's a button by your portrait where you can click and select a long rest. Go ahead and do
Is it
that.
a new day?
Done.
Do we click new day?
I just hit long rest.
Yes or no? Alex?
I don't know. I don't
I-
understand the question. I'm sorry. Is
So
it a
when
new
I-
day?
When I click long rest, it says, take a long rest, blah, blah, blah. Is it a new day?
It
So I
Mine
can
says,
didn't
check or
ask
uncheck the
that.
box that says, is it a new day?
it actually says
Ah.
is new day.
Yes.
It does.
Is
say
new
is
day?
No, it's is new day.
I didn't get that.
Recover limited use abilities when recharge per day.
I
Like,
guess it
look-
is a new day.
Mine or not, but I just figured if it is, I should check it.
Go ahead and check it.
There we
Okey-dokey.
go.
Why did I not get this option?
I don't
I
know.
got the same option.
When
Maybe
you go
maybe
on-
it's
on
only for
long rest?
characters that have abilities
things
that
that
require a
are
long
daily.
rest to recharge. Maybe.
My spell slots should count as that though, shouldn't they?
Are there things that change by day, though? Like there's some
Only
things
my
that
bag
renew
of tricks, maybe.
Oh, that's right. Your bag of tricks renews in the morning.
Yeah, maybe it doesn't count that.
Interesting. So it is.
Is new day.
It's about
See?
1:30 in the afternoon,
You got
and Finny and Lux, you get a knock on your door. As you're bless you. Oh my God.
Sorry.
As you are rousing from your slumber, you hear a knock at your door.
Who is it?
Is that how you say it, really? Who is
Yes.
it? Housekeeping.
Judge me.
Had to fluff your pillows.
Fluff your pillow.
I'm going to stand behind the door, which...
It's, forgive me, ma'am, this is, Melissa. It was my sister who, was taking care of the baby, yesterday.
Yes.
Can I speak with you?
Tell me more, tell me more.
Yeah. So we let her in.
Okay, so
Is she by herself?
she is. Yeah, Melissa comes in, looking very nervous, sort of eyes towards the ground, head sort of down. She seems like she is not feeling great about something. Forgive me, ma'am, and ma'am. I'm afraid I have some rather bad news.
Did you lose my baby?
Well, Denia, who you recall, Denia is the name of her sister, the one that took the baby. Not took, but the one you gave the baby to take care of over the night. I'm afraid the child is missing. When Denia awoke this morning, she woke to find that the child was no longer where she had left it in the crib with her child. And yes,
Her child's safe though?
Her child was not touched. No, it would.
That's good. At least there's not two babies in trouble.
Okay. Any sign of what happened?
Well, Denia is downstairs. If you would like to, we wanted to give you a chance to prepare yourselves for the day first before you came downstairs. But she is waiting for you to speak with her. Perhaps we have some food for you. She seems like really nervous, like you were just gonna kill her as soon as she gave you the news. So she's just like trying to do everything that she can to seem as small and insignificant and as giving as possible to make herself, so you don't kill her.
We'll find it's okay. We'll find the child.
I'm already throwing my pack over my shoulder and kind of knocking on the door of everybody else. Do. And downstairs. Maybe I can get through the door. I guess I can't get through the door.
You can open it. Just click on the door icon and it'll open.
Oh,
there you go.
Well, what do you know? Okay. Knock, 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 knock.
All right.
Knock.
Is everyone else awake and
Kind of
getting
dark
their
and
stuff
smoky
together?
in here.
Yeah, you gotta quit vaping in the game there, Alex.
I don't know where you guys are seeing all
Knock,
this
knock.
smoke. There's like I
It's
don't see,
Clouds.
Yeah.
the same
It's really
clouds.
foggy in here.
Yeah,
Are like
cloud,
home
the
page,
cloud.
I don't see any of that at all on my screen.
Yeah, well,
It's in the hallway right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we see it.
I think.
All right, so we're going downstairs.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
now I see it in Alex Clone. I see some of the smoke. So it must be a rainy day. I'm guessing the weather might be bad. Let's see what the weather is. Click. Go. Why won't you show the weather?
up here. You're a good boy.
I see a little sun and cloud icon there at the bottom.
Do you? Where do you see this?
Right above your
Events.
shortcut tray. There's the date and the time. There's a little
Yep.
cloud.
It's a little
Oh,
tiny
yeah.
red.
You're right.
Yeah.
Cloudy sun.
Sun behind the
It says
cloud.
weather. But
Oh, so it's
clicked on
just-
it and it says no shing.
So it's just a cloudy day.
Inside.
Cloudy day. Cloudy day.
Whee!
All right, let's bring you all down to the first
Downstairs we
floor.
All right.
So it's afternoon of the 19th of the month, which is a, let's see, it's the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th day of the week. So it's basically like a Friday. It should be Chata. Oh wait, no, it's, yeah, okay. I need to
And
advance
Chata.
this to the 20th. Advance one day. Let's see, how do we do this? Let's just click on here and we'll make it 20. There you go. And save. Alright, 20th.
All right, where's Dinah Diddy?
So Danae is sitting up at the bar with the bartender, and there are a few other people in the tavern. It's not really busy since it's sort of, you know, early mid-afternoon. So the place isn't really hopping at this point, but there are a couple of people in there, but Danae is sitting up along the bar.
Is she invisible?
No, she's not. I just don't have a token for her. So pretend with your mind's eye
Oh man.
that Danae is sitting. All right, fine. Let me find a token.
No.
No, now it's
No.
too late.
It's just you've conditioned me with all of these other
Yes.
things that I don't have to think for myself anymore. I
Yeah.
just
We don't have to imagine anything.
the story
I know.
unfold.
Bells and
Just make her a
whistles.
little weasel or something.
Yeah, use a weasel. Use a baby losing. What's a baby losing kind of animal?
She's not a weasel.
A
She's more
cowbird.
like a manatee than she is a weasel.
Don't be
What?
rude to manatees.
What?
She's a manatee.
Not sure how I feel about
Do
that.
manatees lose babies a lot?
Do manatees have babies stolen from them? Possibly. I don't know. I don't spend a lot of time in manatee culture.
You know, you should open yourself up to the stories of others, Alex.
Or are manatees into cults and stuff like that?
I thought I did this as sort of a
Manatee.
randomizer sort of thing. I thought it was gonna, let's see. Do you place... Okay, so every time I place you, how do I switch you though? How do I get another random token out of you? Let's see. Token image path, it should be okay. Let's do this, and we'll pick you. That's not what was selected. That's not what I want. I want this one. Select. Is it 2? Yep, it's 2. There we go. Okay. There's Danae. Are you happy?
So
I'll
happy.
take it.
I have to respell her name now because I've been pronouncing it Danae, but it's actually Denia. But Danae,
Whatever.
I am
You
changing
don't
the
care about
name
her name.
now. I care. I need consistency. So she's sitting sort of at the end of the bar. She's holding her child. And you see her sort of take a breath as you guys come down the stairs and come into the room. Little nervous because, you know, losing someone's baby is significant, and it's not something that it seems like you don't get the impression that she was a person not to be trusted. So anything that
She
happened,
probably feels pretty bad.
yeah.
Is it worthwhile in any way for perception to make sure that she's actually, like, it's not like she's covering up that she sold the child to someone or whatever?
Yeah, once you get some info from her, yeah, you can definitely do an inside check to see if you believe what she's saying.
All right.
So she tells you that she awoke this morning and the baby was just gone. She didn't see any sort of, she couldn't find any sign of a break-in or any sort of evidence or anything.
And
There
the
was
baby wasn't sleeping with her?
not with her, no. She was in a crib with Danae's baby.
We can discuss medieval sleeping arrangements another time.
I mean, she wasn't in the bed with her. They had like a separate little, a little small bed that both of the babies
Typically
were in.
Not so much, yeah. They would sleep with the mom so you could nurse in the night.
She
But
needed her
school,
sleep,
don't
her
worry
beauty
about
rest this night.
Don't worry about it.
This is a woman who tends to many different babies from around the community, and sometimes she might have multiple babies at once, and so sleeping with like this pile of babies became a little unwieldy.
No comment.
So
She
they,
only has 2 nipples.
yeah, so they developed a system of a smaller bed next to the main bed
Baby
Where-
rotation.
where the
I don't
babies
wanna
would
really
be
count
held.
nipples.
Yeah, they're on conveyor belts and just slowly in and out of the bed.
Exactly. They have like little, they're on like
Latch to a nipple, move to the next boob.
they're on like Mission Impossible sort of a wire and harness system where they lower down to a nipple and they feed and then they move along down the line.
So she didn't hear, it was in the same room as her. She didn't hear anything. Were there any dogs or anything? Did they hear anything?
No, she
Or
doesn't.
stir?
She doesn't own any dogs. All
Is
she
there
The
a
knows
dogs
is
actually
that.
sleep in bed with her in case they need nursing.
Right.
But they did. There was a neighbor who said that she saw a person, a hooded person with what they described as a skull for a face, moving away from the house early in the morning towards the east, carrying some sort of bundle. And that's all she
Fun.
knows.
Can she describe the hood?
Dark.
Okay.
It was like
Would
a
there be
dark,
any-
The east.
dark cloth towards the east.
Would there be any benefit of us going and investigating the area? Can we? It would if anything magical was used. Would there be any remnants that we could detect?
Yeah.
Do,
There's no way to know
I
until
can
you do
lick
it.
some things.
You
do
can
we know
lick
the
some things.
size of this hooded person? Human sized, dwarf sized?
Hey.
He means short.
I mean you, no offense, sir.
Human sized.
Okay. Of course, it's always a human.
It's always a human.
It is.
Rough.
I mean, if we trust her, let's go investigate the area. Would it maybe
yeah,
be
Lee-
worthwhile
Lee
to talk?
Lee
go ahead.
believes her.
Would it be worthwhile to talk to our new associates in the area? That we're looking. We don't necessarily have to tell them why we're looking for our baby, but we want our baby back.
We
I
want our
want my
baby
baby
back,
back,
baby,
baby.
baby back, baby back, baby back.
Weren't
I
they
know
the
you-
ones that told us why the baby was important?
No, we found that out in the paperwork. In the
Chamber of
Paperwork. That's
Secrets.
right. That's right.
yeah.
Yeah,
Is
you
there
could definitely.
Is there anywhere I could go, Alex, to study up more on this to figure out what's going on?
On which this?
Because didn't I find all this out in paperwork that we found?
There was
That
a
I
yeah,
then took rubbings and
yeah.
kept?
You took the rubbings of the old stone carvings, and you took
And I
all the
saved the
parchment
rest of
with
it.
you. Yeah.
Is
so
there
you
like
you
a-
have all the stuff with you.
Is there like a library or something that I could expand upon it, or is there anything else in that paperwork that would give us a clue as to where we could start our search besides looking around the house?
Or maybe what a baby could be used for.
Yeah.
A baby could be used for. It just depends on how you prepare the baby, but it could be used for lots of things.
It's best with Grey Poupon.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Excuse-
is.
Excuse me. Do you have any Grey Poupon?
No,
Goodness.
just in the diaper.
I'm actually surprised that I don't watch much like broadcast television, but you would think they would start dipping into, and maybe they have, maybe I just haven't seen it, but sort of the nostalgia market with the 80s and sort of a resurgence of like, where's the beef and excuse me, sir, do you have any Grey Poupon? You know, the commercials from back in the day. I haven't seen a whole lot of that in meme form, so it might be out there. It just wasn't like cool enough to actually be captured by anyone. No one has a comment.
No, I don't watch
haven't
any
seen
TV
anything.
either.
I think I'm the oldest out of all of us, aren't I? I'm 51. Am I the oldest?
I remember those commercials. I just don't watch TV now.
Yeah, neither do I.
So
yeah, I
like,
just get like the targeted ads they serve up on YouTube or Hulu or whatever.
yeah.
And that's weird. I mean, that's a huge cultural shift. I mean,
Yeah.
live broadcast TV was like the thing for decades, multiple
yeah.
decades, and now suddenly it's just not existent anymore. I mean, it's still there, and I'm sure there's still some sort of market for it, but it's not a market that I've tapped into in the last 10 years plus.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
almost never watch anything live anymore.
Yeah.
I'd say
I can't
first
imagine.
thing, we watched live when they did the Parks and Rec reunion a few months
Yeah.
ago. And that was like probably the first live TV I'd watched in at least 5 years, if not longer.
Did you watch it actually on television being broadcast, or did you
Yeah, that
watch
was
like
the
a
only
stream of
option.
it?
I plugged in my bunny ears and turned it to
Oh
the
my God.
station so I could watch it as it
I don't even
aired.
know how to do that.
Yeah,
Now,
we have to.
sometimes with Westworld, we'll start streaming it as soon as it's available, but that's not quite the same.
Yeah, we have a digital antenna on our main television, but
Yeah.
it's like, you know, how often do we have it on that? Rarely. And if it is, it's on PBS for Teddy to watch something.
It's tuned to PBS too.
Heck yeah, there are like 5 PBS stations. We like,
Aw,
yep.
I love it.
I just
Right,
watch my news live and football. That's about it. And not even football most of the time, actually.
Football, jock. What are you doing playing D&D? Jesus.
I know it's.
You're not allowed to have nuance.
You were the guy that used to pick on me in high school. Nyang.
Nope, I can't. I didn't say I played football. I play fantasy football.
That's like D&D sports. I mean, that's all
It
fantasy
is.
football
I
is.
actually have like a little meme that says fantasy football. It's D&D for jocks.
Yep. Oh, I forgot that little tidbit that we invented, that the house band for the Iron Lute is called the Minstrels.
Nice.
Okay, so you want to try to figure out...
We just want
Let's
to see if there's
see.
any other clues that we might pick up on that might point us in the direction of who might have taken it.
Yeah,
maybe.
we might roll higher than she did.
Let's see.
You've got an entire layout for her house, right?
Oh, sure. I have every house in
We are back to my
Cyranor.
typical roles.
Every house in Cyranor laid out. It's only
Okay.
it's over 100,000 residents, so it didn't take too long.
That's not too bad.
No, it was fine.
But yes, if there's something I can roll to see if there's anything else I can find out.
Like, give me specifics. What, like you mentioned, you wanted to check with the Violet Banner, which is legit. You can check, you know, since they're a thieves guild, they might have some underworld sort of knowledge going on.
My
What-
other thought was wondering if there were any other sources that we might be able to get more out of the
I-
paperwork and rubbings. That...
I mean, what time is the Iron Lute open 24 hours, or does it close at night? Because if it's a tavern, maybe like a drunk person saw something else.
It does typically close at night, and they do
Okay.
not. The Iron Lute is not in the same immediate area that her house is in.
Okay.
We'll switch over to the
Would
Cyranor map.
Would there be anything near her house that might have, like the strip club or like the donut shop, that might have people that would be out late that could see more?
Her house is in the black district, and
Okay.
and the Iron Loot you can see is there between sort of Cinemark and the Dawn Arc.
Okay, I do see that those are very far apart.
Yeah, so
Well, we
she had to huck it
I
quite
wanna-
a bit to get back over to the inn where you guys were.
Yeah, I want to look for things like any cloth that might have been left, or footprints, or DNA.
Can we send a message for the
What's
Violet
the
Banner to meet
flashlight?
us here for like lunch or something while we go check out the house and then meet them back, or dinner, or that way they know to come talk to us?
Whoever wants to try to contact the Violet Banner, go ahead and make a intelligence check. Oh,
Hey,
20.
damn.
Ooh. All right,
Well-
your dice work.
Yeah, what were you
Yeah.
saying about your dice again? I don't want to hear any
Yeah,
more
they,
complaints.
they apparently in this one circumstance were useful. So thank you, dice.
So you send like a young boy, you pay him a couple of copper to go and pass a message along, and you get word back like 20 minutes later saying that yeah, they will meet you back at the Iron Loot in like the next 30 minutes.
Okay, so we'll wait for them.
Either all of you can, or some of you can, if you want to split up, and some of you go into the black to check out the area around her house. It's totally up to you.
Well, could we have told them to meet us back there after we do this, or do
Sure.
you think it's best to talk to them first? Or
No, you could. Yeah, you totally.
I don't
could.
know that splitting up's good. We tend to get jumped when we walk around the city, and so maybe we tell them we'll meet them for dinner. Like that was our message, that we would meet them if they would meet us for dinner here tonight. We have some things we'd like to discuss with them. We can see what we can find out before then.
So like around
Or-
5-ish.
Or what does the party think? Should we meet with them and then investigate, or investigate and then meet with them?
Investigate and meet with them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Supper
we don't
sounds
want any-
good. If it's 2 o'clock, that gives us 3 hours to walk across town, investigate, and get back.
Yep.
That sounds reasonable. Let's make that what our message was. If that is okay with the DM.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be fine.
All right. So let's go get our investigation on, and then we might have more/better questions.
So what sort of, you wanted to investigate the paperwork? How did you want to go about doing that? Like, who did you want
Well,
to?
let's go check the place out where the baby disappeared from. Is there anything new that we would have learned from this paperwork, or we pretty much already have all the info we would have pulled from there for now?
You have all, like, the info from the paperwork itself you have, and you've poured through. If there's additional information that might come out of that, you don't know, but you definitely have all of the facts as far as what was written in the stuff that you found.
Okay. Is there a church related to that somewhere between here and where we're going? Because isn't it some sort of religious sect? Or that's something we might ask Violet Banner about.
According to the paperwork, the Blood Scourge,
Mm-hmm.
which I typed it as Finny. Sorry, Finny.
Oopsie.
The Blood Scourge worship
I'm looking.
an archangel called an Astaroth,
Where is that piece of paper? God damn it! There it is.
which is an
Yeah.
archangel
Of Sanhedrin was good, and then instead an Astaroth came out.
an archangel of Boehm, who is the god of evil.
Uh-huh.
The archangel of blood used to be associated with Sanhedrin, the goddess of good, but
But is now
this new version has appeared as of late, associated with Boehm, the god of evil.
okay. I feel like we can get more on where we might look in the city from the Violet Banner tonight. Then
And you did note that are all 5 of you going into the black?
I mean,
Well-
I think that we should not split
Stay
up.
together.
Yeah, that'd probably be the smartest.
We tend to get jumped in cities, like I said. So
Yep, I'm halfway there.
You note a couple of times during your trek through the city, working your way towards the Black District, that, and the black is mostly, that's sort of, it's an older district of the city. It's mostly merchant, although there is a prominent gate,
I thought you were gonna say prominent gay community.
a prominent gay community in the black.
Love it.
But it's an older area of the city, and a lot of laborers and sellers and merchants, a lot of shops, and with homes sort of over top of the shop. And in sort of communal places along the journey into this district, on several occasions, more than one occasion, you saw someone matching sort of the physical description of Blood Scourge that you've seen in the past, sort of the shorter hair, the red robe,
Hands.
not really robes, but no, you don't see any of the red hands, but you see the sort of red cloth draped over dark colored armor, typically leather armor, with wrappings around their arms and hands. What's the word I'm looking for? Proselytizing? Is that the word I'm looking for? With a small group of citizens of Cyranor sort of gathered around as they talk about sort of improving their lives, raising their status, things that they can do to make themselves better, to earn more money, sort of pyramid scheme sort of stuff that would be nowadays. But you pass a couple of these as you sort of work your way into the black, working sort of the crowds in market areas and that sort of thing.
Okay.
In the black itself, you sort of check out the area around Danae's home, where she lives, and go ahead and make some investigation checks for me.
Boom, I got a macro for it.
Boom. Look at all these beautiful dice being rolled.
They're
That
so
was
pretty.
awful. Man.
Oh dear.
Did I switch dice with y'all?
Apparently you did.
Okay.
Apparently.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I could think off mine.
Lee
I
and
have some
or
powder
Lux,
stuck in my nose and it's all I can smell.
Lux
I'm like trying
and
to figure out like where the hell my hands are, I guess.
Right.
you guys went through a section of the district where they sold all the marijuana plants, and you're feeling a little.
It's like walking past our neighbor's house.
Some of you are feeling a little funny. Gareth and Lux, you find no additional clues. Whoever took the baby was very, very good at what they do. Other than the one report from the older neighbor who you speak to and who sort of repeats the same information, it was a person with a dark hood carrying a bundle with, she swears, was a skull for a face, leaving the area early in the morning, because she always gets up early because she has to feed her sheep. Other than that, that's the only bit of info that you can get. Otherwise, no one has seen or noticed anything, and you, as far as physical evidence goes, there's nothing that you can find that's out of the ordinary.
Yeah. Do we notice any suspicious sort of characters around, or anyone that appears to be watching us or following us or paying any sort of special attention to what we're up to?
Make perception checks, just to give you a chance to use your macros again.
That's the other one I had a macro for.
Oh my
Look at all
god.
that pretty dice.
They are all pretty.
Lux and Finney rolled the best on that one, and no, you don't notice any. You don't notice anything. You don't notice any. I mean, there are some looks that you get. There's a gnoll walking around with you. She's off ship, which is a little unusual. There's a dwarf with you, which is not entirely common this deep into Delafran. But other than the normal sort of looks that you get, you don't get the indication that anyone is tracking you or anything like that.
All right. So, we seem to have some time yet till we meet our friends back at the...
Was there at this lady's house, she didn't have any animals, but was there any animals that would have been nearby? Like the neighbor had a dog that I could
call.
use animal speak and get what they saw?
The lady next door had sheep.
Sheep. That's pretty
Intelligence matters.
good.
That's not bad.
I couldn't say that.
Would you like to speak to the sheep?
Oh yes, please do it.
Yeah, I think we should.
I want to hear Alex talking sheep.
Let's see. I'm trying to think. Is it beast sense or is it animal speak that I need here?
It's speak with animals, isn't it?
Speak with animals. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. You gain the ability to comprehend and verbally communicate with them. The knowledge and awareness of many beasts is limited. Their intelligence.
Yep. That was my... I'm going to put these on if you're going to...
Might be able to persuade it to perform you a favor. Whoa. So yeah, I will see if I can't find an animal nearby that I feel like could have had a vantage point, and see if I can get them to share anything else.
The
That's an idea.
the 4 head of sheep. Oh my God! Lux activated her sweet ass sunglasses. Dang
If
it!
he's talking to sheep, I'm totally putting these on to hide my face.
The 4 head of sheep that the neighbor lady owns. So you guys are kind of
the mouth and not the forehead.
Wait, what? Say that again.
He's probably going to talk to the mouth and not the forehead.
All right, if you want to be weird about it, sure, I guess.
Well, you said that the forehead of the sheep is talking.
I don't know if y'all heard my sigh, but I'm married to him, so I knew where this was going.
That was
I'm sorry, please continue.
That was his dad joke for Father's Day.
Oh no, it
Thank
doesn't
you.
need
At
to be
least you
Father's Day.
appreciate
It's every day.
They do speak of, and sheep aren't incredibly intelligent. So
Sheep are dumb.
yeah,
They're
they're
very, very dumb.
they're mostly just interested in the food situation and when it's coming next.
Maybe I should have
Um,
gone down to the house down and talked to the monkey that's there.
Yeah, that would have been better.
They're sort of
I mean,
they're
I
sort
feel
of
like a pigeon.
this
rat.
is low summer, so it's shearing season, so they're sort of waiting for their chance of getting under the clippers. So these sheep are just robust with their fluff, and they're just like huge. And you do get an image of bones that they're talking about, like they saw bones and they didn't know what to make of it. It's just bones, but it wasn't something that they see every single day, so it's something that they sort of remarked on, like, hey, there's some bones.
That's interesting.
Can I get a feel for the direction that they went?
They went towards the sunrise.
East. That's more than I thought we would get out of sheep. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
All right. We'll
Which
be done.
kind of matches the info that you got from the neighbor woman saying that she saw the guy with the skull mask or face or headgear or something going to the east carrying a bundle.
Where is our compass?
All right.
Do we have a compass?
It's straight up is north on this map.
I mean, east is back towards where we were going anyhow.
Yeah, back to center mark.
We could see if there's any other creatures along the way that Aaron can talk to.
Aaron.
Ooh, I hope we find a pizza rat.
I agree.
Any information that you dig up along the way back towards the Iron Loot is similar, though there is only one or two more sort of reports of a similar sort of sighting, and then it just sort of no one else saw anything kind of after that. A couple of them, and it wasn't all people; it was mostly animals. Like a street dog or a street cat or something that you guys sort of encounter on your way back east towards the Iron Loot. And mostly around the Black. After that, any sort of sightings or reports of this person just don't exist anymore. No one saw anything. Yeah.
Okay.
So as you're walking along a street, sort of market stalls on the sides, and then there's sort of an open area as you cross in. You hear a voice up to your right, sort of up above you, sort of call down. So I hear you're looking for me.
Hey.
Hey. Does anyone look, or do you keep on walking?
I look up.
We look.
It sounds like a trap. I look.
Yep.
I am always looking up.
Aw, that's so positive.
Is it Scully McScullerson?
Let me throw this in. So sitting up on, this is going to be in Discord. Sitting up about on the upper, like, second floor level of a building, sort of on the edge of, on like the corner of the building, on like a stone edifice coming out. You see this person sitting there, um, indeterminate sex, indeterminate gender, and yeah.
I was gonna say I lower my if that looks like what we're looking for, but I should let you finish first, and then I'll have my cool line.
And they're just sort of sitting with their legs sort of bouncing a little bit, you know, sitting on their butt with their legs dangling over. There's
Do they appear to have a baby?
They
Or a
do not
mouse.
have a baby.
I
They ma-
lower my sunglasses slightly so that I glare at them over the top and say, "I think you have something that belongs to me."
Does it really though? Does it really belong?
Oh, it does.
Belong
That
to
baby
you?
was given to me.
You don't
That
look
was
like
my
you've
card
given
that brought us
you've,
this baby.
you've given birth anytime soon. I'm
Oh
not
no, that
sure.
my inspiration card birthed that child.
Hey, birth doesn't have anything to do with being a parent.
Oh,
not. I mean, you know.
mic drop, and Finney walks away, dropping the mic. Interesting. Well, have fun with that. And then with that, the figure stands and sort of darts over the top of the roof and disappears from view.
I will entangle a motherfucker.
Yep, do it.
Can I entangle if we're not in combat?
If you can roll a 20 on a 20-sided dice,
Oh, come now.
you can react fast enough to be able to entangle the figure.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. No. Half as fast as I needed to be.
So the figure disappears, and just after it, all of these vines and plants sort of spring up on the roof and on the corner. But the figure disappears around the top.
Can
Apparently my mage hand does
any
not
turn
work.
into anything flying to chase it?
I can't fly. I can't do any
Okay.
flying things, unfortunately.
So my my macro doesn't work.
I see 4 mage hands in the chat window. 5,
Yeah, but it's
6,
not rolling.
7, 8. I see 8 mage hands.
Oh, I guess I don't have to roll for that.
No, you just do it.
Could I like just, could I be
Everywhere.
fast
an
enough
octopus.
to bitch slap him with my mage hand?
No,
Or grab him?
the figure is already gone at this point. Your mage hand gets a
So-
hold of vines from the entangle and brings you back a nice flower. So that was
Oh,
nice.
that's nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
lovely.
Thank you, Penny.
Like, was this person were they like on a roof, like sitting on the edge of a rooftop or perched or something, or
Yes, exactly.
Roof randomly, get him.
yeah, like what kind of check do I need to roll? Because I want to see if I can like parkour up the wall and
Well,
Fuck
try
yeah.
and attack
Get him,
them.
they were up about 25 or 30 feet from ground level where you guys are standing. So there'll be a couple of checks because you got to do it like per 10 feet of altitude.
I believe in you.
What if we were to
Um,
throw her?
Nobody
According to
tosses a
Trevor.
dwarf. So if you want to
Don't-
make
But the dwarf could toss her.
that's true. Tossing a dwarf tossing someone, the rules are a little bit different. But if you want to make an acrobatics check, actually
And a
2
strength
of
check to
them.
Thoradin.
Now, I'm gonna prepare to be in place to catch her if she fails.
Okay.
Yeet her! Damn it, yeet!
Ah,
Yeah,
dang it.
yeet. Oh, so she like starts to scramble up the wall, and a piece of the edifice breaks off, and she sort of tumbles back down, and Lee falls on her ass.
Gosh.
We should have done the yeeting.
Yep.
Yeah,
The whole
yeet.
building's coming apart.
I'm gonna try it one more time.
You can't. It's done. Oh, and you got a crit on that one. That should have been the first one.
Dang
If
it.
at first you don't succeed,
I sit there in my failure.
It's okay. Lux completely understands what shit rolls feels like and comforts you to the best of her ability.
Well, you eventually make it back to the Iron Loot, and get yourselves a drink to sort of recenter yourselves over this strange encounter with this skull-faced person, and you sit and talk with what was her name again? What was her name? Her name was
Danae?
Marta.
That one, okay.
Yeah, she was the one, the sort of heavier set with the reddish blonde hair. And she tells you that all she knows is that there was recently, like within the last couple of days, there was a word has sort of gone out on the street that there was this bounty hunter known as Caretaker who had been hired by someone with very deep pockets to find and deliver a baby.
Okay. Where can we find this person that stole said baby?
Don't know. They don't know. This Caretaker has apparently been working. Aaron, why are you spinning?
Because it's a bar stool, and I have an intelligence of an 8.
That's true. So
Aaron, I'm so proud of you.
that's true. Well, I mean, what else would you do
How
in
do
a
we
bar stool?
spin? I want to spin.
Shift.
Hold down Control or Shift and move your
Yeah.
mouse wheel.
Yeah. Shift and move your wheel.
Oh shit.
Oh my god, you guys are making me motion sick.
I gotta get on a stool
I roll
for
to
that.
throw up.
Control will move you slower.
Constitution check for anyone who wants to throw up.
I've got great constitution.
All right, so they have nothing that they could.
Well, this Caretaker character has been in the business for a while. They are what you call like upper tier level. Like these are the ones. This is one of the bounty hunters that you hire when you don't have, when money's not not a obstacle.
So they're level 16 is what you're saying.
When you want to spare no expense and you want to get something done, you hire Caretaker, and Caretaker gets it done.
Now
Is
that we
there like
know a little bit more about this person, what kind of roll would I make to see if I maybe have heard of them and have
roll
any insight?
roll a wisdom check for me.
Oh, good.
Ugh. With your pretty dice. Oh, look at that. Yeah,
That's so
you've definitely heard of Caretaker. Not one to be messed with. Typically, Caretaker only works in Delafran. Since you're from Terragir, across the lake, you have no like direct dealings or encounters or experience with Caretaker, but you definitely know of them. That's sort of like hearing about John Wick in the John Wick movies. Like, this is the ghost. This is the one who killed a guy with a pencil. So Lee is impressed that, oh, wow, this is Caretaker. Caretaker is involved in something that we're involved in. This is big league.
We're a big deal.
We're kind of a big deal.
We're kind of a big deal.
I mean, at this point.
Is there any way I could use my family's name or fame or fortune to try to get
Yeah, I
more
think so, it's fame
information
and
or
fortune.
even get contact with them? What was that?
Nothing.
This is more underworld type stuff.
Okay.
you could, like, who are you thinking that you would want to sort of question or put the word out on with?
Our family's sleazy lawyer.
You want to call
Is
Saul
his name
Goodman?
Saul Goodman.
Yeah, he wants to call Saul Goodman.
I want to call whatever the analog to Saul Goodman is.
If you were in Whitecap, I would say yay, but you're not.
Okay,
So
that's fair.
yeah, there's really no one in Cyranor specifically that you could drop in on to get information from. Unless you roll really high. Like if you roll a nat 20 on like an investigation check, I'll say you found someone.
Like Saul's dirty cousin lawyer.
Aww.
So close.
So close to what, 0?
Missed it by that much.
So Lee knows who they are, but we don't have much else. And they have no idea on who may have hired this person or any of that. Can they give us access to either some sort of underground traveling network? Like, I imagine the rooftops would be a pretty regular way of travel for Thieves Guild. Thieves and spies typically in that time would travel rooftops. There'd be like a run of sorts. Or any places or information they could give us somewhere to hang out.
If someone wanted to hire this guy, how would you get a hold of him? Maybe we can just speak with him.
Lee, make an investigation check.
Be prepared to be underwhelmed.
I believe in you.
That wasn't too
Hey.
bad.
I understand your pain.
A contact in the sort of underworld network in Cyranor. The best information that you're able to get is the phrase, and I'm typing it into chat. Should be a plural. There you go.
Where are orphans normally taken?
Yeah.
Orphanage?
I was gonna say orphanarium. I've been watching Futurama.
The orphanarium.
Let's go to the orphanarium.
In Cyranor, you know that orphans are normally taken to the Foundation, which is where the ruins were that you
Which is where we
recently,
were.
which is where you just were. They
Circle of
have
life.
they have sort of the lock as far as taking in orphans and giving them a quote unquote better life, giving them hope and possibility for the future.
Purpose.
So that's where we're going?
Back to the Foundation.
Hi ho, hi ho.
So not to be a party pooper, but it's 10:30.
It is
Really?
10:30 on a Sunday.
This would be a good pause point. I'm starting to fade pretty fast.
All right, Jackie's
Yeah.
fading. All right,
And
so next time we
some
play, we
some
can.
people have to get up at a particular time, not me so much, but I know others do.
I do too. I also have work tomorrow. All right, well, I'm glad we were able to play for at least a little bit. It's been a couple weeks.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
this was a good, the new additions are really neat, Alex.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So we'll think on our orphanarium travels, I guess.
I can't wait to use my new stuff.